Hello mga kababayan, welcome to my channel. Welcome to Laruan ni Obi-Wan. So from the Star Wars TV series The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett, we finally have in toy form the character of Ahsoka Tano. So this is the newer version of Ahsoka Tano. So let's do a quick 360 of the figure while it is still in packaging. So this is number 19 from the Star Wars The Black Series for the Mandalorian show. So for those of you who are interested in searching for this figure, so these are the codes for it. So let's take the figure out of packaging. So let's examine the contents of our purchase. So we have the Ahsoka Tano figure and only 2 accessories on board, and the ones that are most important. So 2 lightsabers. As to an extra pair of hands or extra pair of gimmicks or whatsoever, we don't have any of those. But basically we really have a good looking figure, so I'm really excited to go further with this review. Okay, so we have the figure at hand right now, and I'm really tempted to do the details first, but let's save the best for last. So let us first discuss the articulation points on this figure, because definitely if you have a previous Ahsoka Tano figure in your collection, then this is really night and day. So this is the day, that figure is the night, because with regards to detail alone, look at that. But of course, in justice towards that figure that we previously had, it was based from the animated series The Clone Wars. Anyway, so let's start with the articulation points. So if you are really scared that because of these hard plastic points on the head of the figure that is going to hinder articulation, you are wrong, because they are somehow, compared to the other figure which was really rigid and stiff, this is made of somehow pliable material. So moving the head sideways is just okay. So look at that. So even on the other side, that is something that you cannot do with the older figure. So looking upwards, so let's force this figure to look upwards. So we really still have ample articulation of head tilts, because this piece is made of soft rubbery plastic too. So just with the right amount of angling the head, you have that much tilt. So let's move towards the body. So I thought that I was looking at this figure in packaging, that I thought that we would have a hinge somewhere over here, but it's just going to be a ball for articulation of the body. So that is the only articulation point available for the body, so no extra articulation points. So but is it enough for really dynamic poses? The answer is yes, because I'm going to show that later in the photos and the video shots. So with regards to the arm articulation, we have rotation, sideways movement. We don't have any point of articulation on the biceps, no bicep cuts for this figure, but we have the articulation point on the elbow. Articulation point on the elbow too for bends also act as rotation points for the forearms. Now with female figures like this, I somehow like not having a bicep cut for rotation, because somehow it the creation of a line over here somehow breaks the overall impact of the design of the figure. So with regards to really lifelikeness, from this part alone, you really could see that this is like just the actress that played the character of Ahsoka Tano in the TV series. So there I go again discussing the details. So let's once again proceed to the articulation point, the last articulation point on this figure for the arm. So that's going to be the hands. So we don't have any extra hands for this figure, so we have rotation and we have a articulation point, a hinge over there. So right now that hinge is really quite stiff. Oh no, it's not going to be on the face of the palm, but it's just right, so where I want it to be, because for saber action poses, we want to have the articulation point or the hinge to be on the thumb area, not on the face of the palm. So is it available for the other side of the figure? Let's see. Okay, there you go. So the articulation point is also on the thumb area. So for lightsaber action or lightsaber posing, that is something that I really want. So before I was playing with this figure, I thought that the articulation point somehow was over here. Good, I did not break the hands of this figure. Woo! Because this is the only Ahsoka Tano that I found at my local Target, and if I broke that, then I won't have any more figure to replace for this review. Okay, so thank God. Okay, now for the leg area, as you could see, the pants, the baggy pants or the ninja-like pants is really looking great. And what's great about this is the articulation point is hidden on the back of the pants. So let me do that for you. There you go. So that is only a single point of articulation for the knee. We don't have any articulation point for the shin, but for the foot area we have a rocker and a hinge. So for thigh rotation, the thigh articulation is hidden underneath over here. So just like your McFarlane action figures where the thigh articulation is located here, but compared to the articulation point, thigh articulation point of a McFarlane figure, this is really nice and smooth, and the rotation point on the biceps is really wide. So as you could see, you can't do that with a McFarlane action figure. So really great figure design overall. Now let's finally go to the detail section. So the really great thing about this figure, even if it is still in packaging, you're really going to get awed by the face sculpt of this figure. So look at that likeness on this action figure. It's just like packaging the actual actress into plastic form and delivering or buying it at the store. So look at that. Now with the amount of details, the color, the paint, and etc., really clean. So I can't see any point of paint chips or paint overlays on this figure, including on the head sculpt. Everything is nicely painted. So even on the most crucial part of this action figure, which is the face and that headband, the details on that headband also is nicely painted. So the silver parts, so look at that. This is, I could really say, in a scale of 1 to 10, this figure is a total 12 out of 10. So if you find this figure, even if it is the only one on peg, then just take it, because you won't be disappointed with your purchase. As to sturdiness of the material, even if this is a female figure, you won't be scared of really articulating this figure and doing poses with it, because actually the body or the plastic material is really nice, thick, and could withstand really pressure. But of course, if you're really crazy, then you could break this figure. But just for collectors like us who would want their action figures to have a certain pose in our display case, so that is exactly my point. You could display this figure and really stress out really articulated poses. And I suggest that if you have extra pair of possibly a cloak or a brown robe, because I know that Ahsoka Tano from the TV series wore one, especially when she met the Mandalorian. So especially with those lightsabers, and there you go, I already forgot about the lightsabers because of how good this figure is. So let me get back to you and let's get those lightsabers and attach it to this figure. Okay, so we finally have those lightsabers attached to the figure, and I know that Ahsoka Tano does not wield her lightsabers this way. But just for review purposes, so you could see that the amount of detail on the lightsabers, and this time we really have a substantial lightsaber blade that comes with this figure. The first figure had a really thin lightsaber blade compared to this one, which is right now really nice and thick. So it's primarily of a white color, so neither red, green, or green, because of course Ahsoka Tano would wield her own lightsaber color. So there you go. And we also still have those retention hooks or loops at the end of the lightsabers, just like the first version, and we have those connection points, and this time they are just below about 2 centimeters below the belt line, so just the right place where you could possibly hang on a lightsaber. So unlike the first figure that we had, the lightsaber connection system or secure system would be somewhere around here, and that is just way too low. But this time you could connect the lightsaber over this area, so that is for display purposes. If you don't want the blades exposed and just want a figure with 2 lightsabers hanging on the side, then that is possible, and it is at a nicer and higher angle instead of the lower one which we had in our previous figure. So I also have that figure on board. Just check out the review that I made. It is in my Star Wars playlist. Okay, so finally we are ready for the photos and the video shots for this figure. So once again, reminding you, if you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe, and see you on the next Star Wars action figure review.